about buoys and docks and all that kind of fun stuff. The buoys are not ready, okay, so don't ask, they're not ready yet, but they will be, but don't put your boat out if you see them until until we say go, okay, please. We're lucky the ice is off the lake. We've done this draw in the past where there's still ice on the lake. Obviously the ice is off, but they still haven't put them out yet. So Brink will talk about when they're gonna go in. We still shoot always for the first weekend in May, somewhere along in there, but we can never guarantee it because you just never know what's gonna happen. Another thing is, real quick on the tenders, I just want to remind how the tender works.
We'll plan to be done by May 1st when the boat launch is open. So hopefully everything goes according to plan. Tenders, I was able to bring in the tenders over the winter and redo the oar locks and oar sockets again. So those are starting out nice and fresh. So hopefully we'll minimize breakdowns that way. Please lock up your tenders after each use. If you're handing it off to somebody because somebody's waiting, please remind them to lock it up when they're done. They do get joyrided at night. There is damage frequently. I do end up chasing them down, fixing them, etc. And it doesn't have to be that way. It's a little bit unnecessary if everyone's really vigilant about locking them up.
American Scrap. I don't know if you can see it on this, but that is one bald eagle. American Scrap. Yep.
Oh yeah, you and I are scheduled for Tuesday food running.
Oh, on Tuesday?
It says, yeah, 4:30 to 9:30 next Tuesday, the 28th.
Huh. I must have looked at the schedule. So, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
American Scrap. American Scrap.
Been a lot of TV hosts, and I by no means am anywhere near the upper echelon But in all reality, half price this weekend here at the Sketchy Kids restaurant and bar. Cut. Entice me. Enticing. We're staying enticed. We're gonna do a little bit of ballerina action. Don't flick the air. You never want to flick the air. It's a problem. So Tread is gonna come talk to us. But his name isn't Tread now, is it? It's not. It's Lucas. It's Lucas. So just remember, we've got Lucas, and he's coming hard. He's coming fast, and he's coming for you. And here's the real thing. We're gonna take it back a notch. I didn't mean to get so sensual with you folks. You just look so good tonight. But we're talking about Tread talk. We're talking about tread and tread. And you know what? You can spin it any way you like. That's what these liberals do these days, don't they? The liberals come and they sprint it. They sprint it all around, and they just think that's what it's gonna be. It's not. We're not buying all your nonsense. We're not buying into your agenda. We know what our tread trucks are. We made the darn thing. You're gonna try and take it from me? That's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. You. Oh.
Shame. I smoke a little weed every now and then to my ego, and that's the thing. I can't smoke with other people anymore. It's gotta be by myself. But that's the thing with altering your state of mind. It's different effects for everyone. Everyone smells and tastes and feels things differently. I think it's important to just find what works for you and not judge or put anyone else's decisions down. I've made some pretty bad life choices in my life, but at the same time, I've been exposed to a lot of things, and I've been able to figure out how to keep in touch with my spirituality without having to rely on religion to sort of guide me through it. I feel like I think that the higher power is it's all around us, man, and it's just the way we tend to over-exaggerate things. And I think we should just all want to be unified with each other. So we're working on the show. The show's been great. I'm trying to, Paul and Elliot are great to work with. We've been really getting a lot of stuff down. I feel like we're really onto something, and we're really starting to engage people. And I think that's going to be crucial in the success of the series ultimately. And who knows? Something might take off. And I think that it's just it's going to be cool.
There's monsters. There's monsters. There's monsters. There's monsters.
There are strange beings that are
Unexplainable. Strange theories. Let's talk about strange theories. We've got the Yeti. Where did he come from? Bwenton Samhain knows. Has he told us yet? No, he hasn't. Are we okay with that? Maybe. I don't know how you're feeling. I know how I'm feeling, okay? But you know what? I digress. Look. The Yeti is just a playoff of the Bigfoot, is he not? Or she. I don't know the preferred nomenclature. I don't know what to call the Yeti. I don't know if the Yeti is, I don't even know who he is. But, we've got a Bigfoot. I've seen Bigfoot. Hello. Hi. Bigfoot. Hello. And that's the big.
Solomon, and I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened to me when I lived in Texas. I know that some people aren't going to believe this, but it really did happen, and I'm just going to tell it exactly how it was, and you can be the judge. But this is what happened. Texas, known for cowboys and barbecue, and also the Dallas Cowboys. But in Whitesboro, Texas, there was another story about to take place, and this was a nightmare on Elm Street. I just had a falling out with a man I called Pawpaw down there. He was a Korean War veteran. He was a bigwig of some type in the military, and he basically we had a falling out, and he had hit me in the head with a World War II sword case, and which that's all right. We just had a feud, and I moved out. The bottom line is, and me and his grandson, and I'm not going to mention names in this video here. We got a place in Whitesboro, Texas, and the house was on Elm Street in Whitesboro, and I always thought it was ironic, because of that movie Nightmare on Elm Street. But anyway, we moved into this place, and we had gone fishing that summer and been pouring concrete that summer, and I caught an 8-pound bass. It was the biggest bass I ever caught. Anyway, I had some pictures of it, and they wouldn't give me the pictures of it because they were mad that I'd caught a big fish out of the pond of my roommate's girlfriend's parents. Let us fish over at their place, and anyway, we lived in this house, and we worked, and we went home every day, and one morning I woke up, and I got a cigarette and was smoking a cigarette, and the light was coming in through the windows, and I was wondering what we were going to be doing that day, and maybe go fishing again, because I was kind of excited about fishing after catching an 8-pound bass. And anyway, I smoked a cigarette, and I put the cigarette out on the little nightstand next to the bed, and as soon as I had done that, my arm was twisted behind my back, and I was kind of looking down off to the right, and I was scared to look over and see what it was, because I'd had an experience like this, similar to this, when I was 5 years old. And anyway, I basically eased over to look, and I looked up at this thing over to my left, and it looked like a man except for the nose, and it had blue like around the nose, and his nose was long, and it kind of flopped around, and he was laughing at me, and it was a weird laugh because it was like a honking. It was like honk, 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 honk. He was just laughing. He was not worried about me. He was not concerned one bit. He looked like he came off as he was in total control of the situation. I don't know how he got in my room. He was just there. He had my arm behind my back, and he had a little instrument in his hand that looked to me kind of like a grill lighter, that kind of shaped like that. And he stuck it to the side of my head, on my temple, right here. And when he had done that, I seen a doorway open up at the end of my room, over in the corner, kind of above where the closet door was. And anyway, this door opens up, and it was like light was coming through the doorway. So when this figure walks into the doorway, it looked like the shape of a man, but it was like solid black shadow, but solid. And when he stood in this doorway, he began to shift into like a sinister shape. He was standing there like a regular man at first, and then he shifted into like a crazy looking, weird, evil looking shape. And at this point, I kind of had looked away from this thing that had a hold of my arm, and it stuck something to the side of my head, and you know, I didn't know what to do. And so I kind of looked back over, and he was laughing. He laughed again, and then all of a sudden I looked back at the thing that was in that doorway, and that doorway was probably maybe 100 feet away, but my room was only 12 feet at the most. So somehow or another, time and space seemed to be altered, and they kind of shifted my room or something, to where, how can you open a door that is 100 feet from you, and your room's only 12 feet wide? And at that point, I was scared. I was pretty scared. But then there was a roar. There was something that roared, and it seemed like it came off from the right somewhere. And it was a roar that was made the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. You know how that sound of the dinosaur was like roar, and it sounded real scary and sinister and what have you, like it could eat you in one bite. And anyway, there was a roar, and it went on and on and on. It was so freaking scary. This roar, I remember thinking when I heard it, that if you were to see what made this sound, this roar, you would surely die. You wouldn't even live through it. It was so scary of a sound. And it was so scary that when that thing roared, the guy in the doorway, I looked up at the thing in the doorway, and it even looked over. It went, over to where I thought the sound was coming up from the right. It would have been to that thing's left, and it looked over in that direction, and it scared it. The thing that was in the door got spooked, and all of a sudden that door shut, and the thing that had a hold of my arm let go, and I don't know where he went. They both were just gone like that. It scared me so bad that I didn't even sleep another night in that house.
All right, and now, okay, and then one last thing we gotta talk about is we gotta just talk about Lisana playing the guitar. We gotta just see it. We gotta see it, and we gotta hold it and tear it down. So
Hi,
let's
I'm
talk
Lisana,
about.
and this is my song called "Till I Don't Love You Anymore." Thoughtless words and conversations are like a punch without the bruise. Talking about a situation, I say I don't mind. You say what's the use? And I am trying not to think about, but you keep running through my brain. And I am trying not to stress about, 'cause I know I'm not to blame. So when you're walking out my door, I'll be waiting in this chair till I don't love you anymore. Till I don't love you anymore. The music's playing, spinning around in circles, but you don't make a move. I wonder why. And when it's cold outside, I'll try to build a fire. You'll be my firewood that isn't dry. And I'm trying not to think about, but you keep running through my brain. And I am trying not to stress about, 'cause I know I'm not to blame. So when you're walking out my door, I'll be waiting in this chair till I don't love you anymore. I've been trying not to think about, but you keep running through my brain. And I am trying not to stress about, 'cause I know I'm not to blame. So when you're walking out my door, I'll be waiting in this chair till I don't love you anymore. Till I don't love you anymore. Till I